Fumytech Rose MTL RTA. How's it going, everybody? This is AVAndy, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Fumytech Rose version 2. It's the limited version of the Rose RTA. They did release a previous version in around September of last year, and this is the gold version, the new edition. I'm going to run down the basics upgrades compared to the previous one, and we're going to go over the basic specs of this, have a vape on it, dive in, take a close-up look, see what it comes with, take a look at the packaging, all that good stuff, bring it back up top, have a few more vapes, give you my overall thoughts on the Rose MTL RTA. Starting off with these specs here, 24mm diameter, mouth-to-lung RTA adjustable airflow, top filling, removable 510 drip tip up on top. Comes with two of those that we'll see in the close-up. 3.5ml e-liquid capacity inside of here, and you just unscrew the top to fill it up. If you do install the coils that come with it, it comes out to about a 0.4. It's reading 0.38 right now on the Fumytech Sharon Mini, but it's 0.4, 0.35, somewhere in that range when you have both coils installed. That's just using the pre-built coils that do come with it. Let's go ahead and have a quick vape on. I've got the Cloudheads Pineapple in here right now. Got it. I'm going to put it actually down to 12 watts. Coming in at 0.38. Airflow is about halfway open. Alright, here we have the packaging on the Rose MTL. You can see version limited. I think that means to say like limited new version, since this is the updated version of the Rose. On the back here you can see a little bit about the device, what it comes with. 3.5ml capacity, do it yourself. Dimensions 24 by 55mm. Comes with all this good stuff here. Tank, extra dip tip, extra piece of replacement glass, O-rings, 4 coils, screwdriver, and some more extra screws. Slide this little box out. See the Rose logo again. Inside of this little flip up, you'll see a diagram, little breakdown of the Rose MTL, mouth to lung. Rose MTL will be right here. In here you'll get a baggie with some extra coils, pre-built coils, and then you'll get some extra screws, some extra O-rings, and then a little tool. You'll get a piece of replacement glass here for the Rose MTL. Then you'll get this little extra drip tip. This is the one that comes pre-installed on the Rose, but you can just pop it off and put the other one on there like I have. I'll show you that in a second. So here you can see the Rose up close. This is the drip tip that also comes with it that you can just pop off like so. Sticks in there pretty well. Here you can see the Rose. See the 510 connection down there. I like this little design it has up here. Something about this just simple little design cube makes it look pretty nice. The new version, you can see that's gold plated inside of there. Not real gold, obviously, but you can unscrew for the top filling like so. You can see the filling holes. This might actually cause a little bit of leakage here, but you can see the 5 little fill ports. Just pop your e-liquid down in there, screw it back on. Let's take a look at the airflow on this Rose MTL by Fumytech. Alright, so up close, here you can see the airflow. On this side, there is 3 dots there, and then a long little slit. And then on the opposite side here, they have 3 dots, but no slit. So you can adjust the airflow. This side has the slit, you can bring it down to the 2 dots. Over here it's going to be at 1, and yeah, that little vacuum effect there did cause a little bit of leaking when I did unscrew the top. But in terms of actually when you're using this, leaking issues, I would make sure it's always best to refill when it is empty. But in terms of using this though, it's always best to refill when it's empty. I have not had leaking issues. If you are having leaking issues, it's going to come down to the wicking you have in there. You might need to change the wicking around a little bit, play around with it, but in terms of it leaking when you have it wick correctly, that is not an issue. But then you can see the airflow, and it does adjust all the way. You can slide it, locks into place either way. On this guy, I personally like it when I've got the small airflow slot closed on this side. Then you can take a look at the other side here. So it's got all 3 open, and then a part of that slit is open, but one of the airflow holes is closed on this side. So you can play around with that, see what you do like. Of course, it is adjustable, customizable to your liking. Here you can see the Rose on a mod real quick. Screw it on. This is an AUG vape mod here. So you can see it looks super nice. Nice little mouth to lung RTA. I like that gold finish in there, and then you can see that top a little bit better, that design they have on here. Machined very well up top. That's pretty much going to take care of the close-up. Let's bring it back up top, have a few more vapes on it, and I'll give you my overall thoughts on this Fumytech Rose MTL updated version. All right, now that we got that close-up, let's go and have a few more vapes on it. I still have the Cloudheads Pineapple inside of here right now. Before the close-up, that was at 12 watts. I'm going to bump it up to a 14.3 right now. Pretty dang good vapor production there at 14 watts. I'm gonna go up to actually around 16. Let's go ahead and have vape here 16 watts. All right, so you can see the vapor production, that's at 16 watts. On this build here, and these are the coils, like I said, that are included with the Rose limited version, coming out at 0.48. I vape it between 10 and 16. You can go a little bit higher, but I don't really like that experience with those coils, at least on this dual coil build. But vapor production and flavor and that wattage range is very, very good. And as a mouth to lung RTA, it is a pretty airy draw. It's not super, super restricted. And that was vaping right there with 2 airflow slots. And like you saw in the close up, you got a lot you can do with it, how it's got the 3 dots on each side and then the long slit on one side as well. So you can mess around with the airflow, but it's really good for that hybrid, like mouth to lung, direct lung style vape, which I like doing a lot. It's really, really good for that. Even when you have it all the way restricted though, I'm gonna put it down to 1 airflow hole open on each side. Let's have a vape real quick. It is a tight airflow draw, mouth to lung style, but it feels a little too restricted and too airy inside of the actual RTA. So if you're looking for that super, super tight mouth to lung draw, I don't think this is the RTA for you. But if you like a somewhat looser mouth to lung, not really loose, but just a little bit more than like the tightest airflow you could possibly get, this is a fantastic RTA. Build quality is really good. Flavor on it is good. They did come out with the original Rose Pink version back near the end of last year, mid to the end of last year, I should say. And then this is the limited version, which has some updates that they fixed on the previous Rose. They did adjust the airflow, made some more adjustments to that. They also made the deck a little bit easier to build on. The deck's actual surface area is larger on the limited version here compared to the original Rose. And then the wicking channels on the original Rose, if you guys have used that or are familiar with it, it's got the 2 holes where you stick the wick down. And then on this one here, it doesn't have a full circle. You just slip the cotton down these sides and stick it in, which I have found to be a lot nicer in terms of it wicking. The first time I wicked it up, I did have some leaking issues with airflow, coming through the airflow there. But I did go ahead and re-wick it, and after I wicked it up the second time, I have not had leaking issues since. So if you are having leaking issues, it's gonna come down to the way you have it wicked. It might be too tight down there at the bottom. You might wanna thin that a little bit, because that's what I think was happening on mine, and it was just leaking through the airflow a little bit. It wasn't massively leaking, like I let it sit overnight, and then it was probably 0.5 milliliters leaked out, and then it stopped leaking after that. But I did go ahead and just adjust it, tweak it a little bit, put a little fresh wick in there, and I have not had any leaking issues since on it. They also say that this new limited version, the wattage range should be from 10 to 30 watts, so that's 10 watts higher than on the previous version. Again, I don't vape it that high. With these coils that come with it, the highest I really vape is 16, but you can go a little bit higher. And then of course you can put your own builds in here as well. That's pretty much gonna wrap it up on the Rose MTL RTA limited version. If you guys have any questions about this one or any other vaping questions in general, please leave a comment down below. I'll do my best to get back to you. If you guys did enjoy this video, please be sure to leave a thumbs up and subscribe. It is greatly appreciated. As always, vape on.